This show contains strong language and scary sounds that is meant for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, freaks, to the Central Florida's Sights and Sounds podcast, and to Universal Orlando's Halloween Horror Nights. Your host, John Carigliano, will take you on a journey through some of your worst nightmares. I wonder, will you get out alive?
Welcome to Season 8, Episode 10 of the Central Florida Sights and Sounds podcast, bringing you the sights and sounds of Central Florida's world-class attractions and beyond. And I'm your host, John Carigliano. Of course, here's my wonderful wife, Miss Anne Marie.
Hi.
On today's show, we'll be doing two more houses from HHN 30, Hill House and Beetlejuice. Actually, Netflix is The Haunting of Hill House and Beetlejuice.
Proper nomenclature, sir.
Yes. So, both of us have actually seen, I know both of us had definitely seen Beetlejuice.
Never seen Beetlejuice. It's actually one of my favorite movies from when I was a kid.
But when this house was announced, neither of us had actually seen The Haunting of Hill House, so we actually sat down and watched all 10 episodes of The Haunting of Hill House.
Well, you watched all 10 episodes. I watched maybe like a quarter of them or half of them. I didn't watch all of them, but I got the general idea.
You got the general idea? So obviously the first house we're going to showcase here is The Haunting of Hill House. So did you have any real kind of like idea of what the house was about?
When I watched the show with you, even though I didn't watch every single episode, it was very odd to me that they chose this to be a house, because when I was watching it, it seemed more like a family-oriented drama as opposed to horror. Like there was like a couple of like jump scares with like the bent neck lady and the tall guy and stuff, but like overall it seemed more like a drama than a horror show. So I was kind of interested in how they were going to portray the horror aspect as opposed to like, this is a story about a family.
Yeah, I will say I really wasn't expecting the emotional, what's the word I'm looking for? The emotional investment in the show. So like towards the end, spoilers, I was actually like almost like tearing up at the end, not expecting that from a horror show, but I guess horror isn't really, it can kind of change and fit different things.
Because like when they did Stranger Things, like that was definitely more of a scary show. Like there were other elements to that show, like with the friendship and things like that. But like generally that was a scarier show. There was a monster. They defeat the monster. Like this show seemed just literally like a drama where there were jump scares.
Well, with our lovely discussion, let's head into Netflix's The Haunting of Hill House.
There we go. So sorry. That's not Mom. She lies. He wants to take them away from you.
What's wrong with her? She's having a nightmare, but she's going to win.
Stop touching me.
What's wrong with her?
Stop touching me.
Inside my first level blister, did you lose your mind?
Like your mother.
All right, so that was The Haunting of Hill House. What were some of your favorite scares in that house, Anne Marie?
The tall guy got me because he just kind of comes out of nowhere.
Same. I have been scared many a times by the tall man. I want your opinion, and I honestly think like it's such a great effect. Like it's done very simple. For some of you people that have gone to Epcot Center way back in the day and visited Dreamfinder with Figment, the pregnant lady as like the like demon baby, or because I think he's having this weird like weird vision, and basically the mom turns into like one of the ghosts, and basically like the baby is like pushing up against her womb, and it's freaky, but like in the house it's even freakier.
Agreed.
Is there any other unsettling parts of that house? Like I know for me, and I've seen other people, when you're going down that black hallway and it's very like
Dark.
it's not really dark, but it's more of like sensory deprivation.
Yeah.
Like where a lot of the sound is completely absorbed and you're just hearing these like whispers and stuff.
Well, the weirdest part about going through that hallway when I went through it is we were going through with Megan, who's usually on our Halloween Horror Night shows, but John didn't get to do the team member preview as a guest this year. So Megan was not on the shows. But she actually broke her ankle at the beginning of September or end of August, whatever. So we were going through that hallway and her husband was pushing her in a wheelchair. So imagine not only having no vision and like you said, like the sound is weird, but also having to push somebody through. It was an interesting experience.
Oh boy. But I've noticed for some people, the basement ghost are also one of my favorites. Just how the arm comes out from where that calendar is that first like glimpse, and I didn't realize this until like I actually had to like look back. But when one of the kids is stuck in the dumbwaiter, there's a flashlight that he's like shining, and it shines across, and then you've got the basement ghost that's coming out from the floor, crawling, and it's just a beautiful scene.
I mean, overall, like, again, because, like, when you watch this show, you don't think, like, how are they going to make this, like, super scary in a 2 or 3 minute jam-packed house? Like, it doesn't take, 6 episodes to walk through a haunted house. So, but I think they did a good job of pulling in where it really was a horror movie or a horror show and making it compacted into the house and making it scary.
Totally agree. So, with that, we're going to move on over next door to the lovely movie Beetlejuice, or also House Now. Now, this house was open for 2 days last year. We gave you like a quick tour of it, an audio tour, but it was very hastily plopped together staffing wise, and so we wanted to kind of give you guys a proper house walkthrough with everyone there, and I think it definitely turned out better this year than it even did last year.
I did notice a lot more decorations in some areas. Obviously you won't hear that, but I felt like there were more decorations filling out the holes that we kind of talked about. And also I do feel like there were more scare actors in like the boo holes and stuff like that. Overall, it was pretty much the same, just more filled out.
I would tend to agree with that. And with that, let's head into Beetlejuice.
Let's turn on the juice and see what shakes loose. It's showtime! How you doing? Oh yeah, don't take my picture. I turn into a pumpkin when I see a flash. It's weird. It's a weird thing. It only happens during Halloween too. Not crazy. How you doing by there, man? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Come on in. You brought me some new victims. I mean, yes. Perfect. Works out great. You want to get into my house, and I'm going to let you into my house. What are you pointing at? Is there something up here with me? You scared the hell out of me, bud. Somebody was behind me. How you doing? Oh, yeah. Come on in here. Hey, I'll do anything to scare you, too. Hell, I'll possess myself if I got up. And if you're now, get a free demon possession with every exorcism. You can't beat that anywhere. It's out of the deal.
And go to the 6th door. How do I look? There are no mirrors on this
Don't even say his name. You do not want his help.
Very good. Party of two. Take your handbook and go to the 6th door. How do I look? There are no mirrors on the side. I'm feeling a little flat. Very good.
And I tell you something, if I had one less laugh, I wouldn't have had no accident.
Want a cigarette? More than a hand. Keep moving. That's the lost souls. A room for ghost and exercise.
Let's get down to business. I got a card here somewhere. Hey, I'm feeling a little, anxious. You too. You see where got a little closer, step right up and test your strength. Not so fast, round boy. Look at that. Wow. So this is the good working, okay?
I tell you, friends, I adore her. And when she dances, oh brother.
And that was Beetlejuice. Anne-Marie, after going through the house now last year and this year, did anything change for you inside that house? I know it's kind of hard to reach all the way back to 2020. But yeah, like any new scares or anything that kind of remained the same that you liked or anything that was different?
I mean, overall, I think it was pretty much the same, like I said, just a little bit more filled out. The great thing about that house is, again, it's not a scary house. It's a fan service house, which is fine.
It's a fun house like Ghostbusters was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I mean, because, you do fall into that realm of comedy horror, and that's exactly what Ghostbusters was. It's exactly what Beetlejuice is. And I think it's a good house for people who may not be super into scares but like to look into the movies, like how Universal started their theme park, ride the movies. This is kind of like walk the movie, because it literally is just perfect. Like when you're walking through, it is like you're walking through the movie set.
I would tend to agree with that. I do love like any of the IP houses. It's kind of like the best of scenes or the most memorable scenes, and the fact that they include we talked about this last year, the dining room scene, the model town, which is incredible. Like it takes up like a pretty good portion of that room. They include Dante's Inferno, the waiting room, which I love the simple touch of. So if you ever get a chance to do the house, there's a figure in the back room. It's in a sleeping bag. It's like kind of propped up, right? But the guy has a rattlesnake, and the snake's tail like jiggles back and forth, and it's just a simple effect, but I love it so much. And I also love the cigarette man, because he literally like smokes.
Well, in that room, the receptionist, who is the beauty pageant winner, it reminds me a lot of Janine from Ghostbusters. Like, she's there and she's talking and she's just kind of making guests laugh as you're walking through.
Because watch out, she had a little accident. But overall, absolutely fantastic. The cast that do that house do a spectacular job, really kind of bringing the spirit of Tim Burton's movie to life. And overall, I'm if this was what they had to do to keep it for this year, I'm glad that they did that.
Yeah, like again with the casting, like there. I mean, obviously you do see Beetlejuice in the park still, even though the show is closed. He still kind of walks around, and I know he's been in the horror makeup show, like doing like a pre-show type thing. But I think the best casting they did was actually for Juno, the caseworker. Like, it looks so much like the actress who played her. Like, it's amazing. Like, every time I've gone through that house, like, that character just looks so much like that actress. It makes me smile.
You talking about, like, as we've passed through the portal, and she's
Yeah.
like, no, don't even say his name. You do not want, like, and I love the fact, like, they, even on the prosthetic, they added the slit throat on there, and, it's absolutely fantastic, and, like, for me, I think the only nitpick that I really have about this house is, like, the first good half, there's really not a lot going on. You go through the tunnel, and after you pass her, there's really not a lot until, like, you go down some ramps, and then until you get to the waiting room, there's just not a lot. Like, everything after, once you go through the portal back to the Maitlands, is like empty.
But if you think about it, that's kind of how the movie goes. Like, once they die, they just kind of walk around and the Dietzes come in and they don't really know what's going on. That's the only thing I wish there was more of. I wish there was actually more of the Dietzes.
Yeah, you only have Lydia.
Yeah, you only have Lydia. Like, I wish they had Catherine O'Hara's character. I can't remember her name right now.
Oh, but I know who you're talking about.
Like, I wish there was some of her, and definitely, because Catherine O'Hara is just amazing, and I just love her to death.
Oh, it's Adelia.
Delia, yeah, and and we had to pull up the thing. Otho. I wish there was an Otho.
There is an Otho.
Where?
As you are passing Barbara as the dress is rising, where you have, like, that carousel, he's supposed to pop out, essentially, like, gets his clothes ripped off, and then he runs off scene. That particular scare, I've heard from many people that it's kind of like hit or miss.
I haven't seen it.
I've seen people go through that house and that scare is not there. But then I've had instances of people going through and it is there. So, but I have personally seen it, and because there's like a big spotlight on him, and then like in the movie, and he's in like that tan suit, but you'll hear like that ripping noise of the clothes like going, and then he's like, and then he runs off. So, yes.
I wish I had seen that. I did not get that.
Gotcha. So, with that, I think that'll conclude today's episode.
What are we doing tomorrow?
We are going to be doing Puppet Theater Captive Audience and the Wicked Growth Realm of the Pumpkin, which will...
Little Boo!
Which will, I believe, be our last episode for Halloween Horror Nights 30. We'll have done all the houses. I think... Never mind. Maybe, I don't know if... Are you getting audio of...
I'm gonna try.
Okay, we're gonna try. Alright. Hopefully, we will bring you some lovely audio of Halloween Nightmare Fuel and Marathon of Mayhem Carnage Factory as well. So, with that, don't forget you can visit us at cfsas.com, where you can email the show. You can follow us on Twitter at CentralFLSAS, and you can like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. Again, I already previewed what's going on tomorrow, so say goodbye, Emery.
Bye, Little Boo.
And see you all tomorrow.